What's going on, you guys? My name is Seapeekay, one of the hosts of all things MCC, and it's that time of the month where I give you all the teams for MCC 34 and my predictions, which for this season have been dreadful. But that's okay, because you guys can laugh at how bad I am on the leaderboard of the All Things MCC Fantasy League, where you do what I do right here and put your predictions in, and then we give you a rank on a leaderboard. And I'm doing very badly for the season, so feels good, man. But without further ado, the main reason most of you are here is to find out the teams. So we're starting off with the Red Rabbits. We have Fire Breathman, Rambo, Shovel, and Michael McChill, a team that I'm sure will set you off thinking, wow, this is going to be a really good MCC if all the teams are balanced like this one. And let me tell you, they are. It's a really, really strong event. What can you even say about this team? Fire Breathman, still relatively new to MCC, but obviously one of the absolute GOATs. And little Easter egg, because he'll love me for putting this in, he recently beat my time on the Ace Race practice server. That's my GOAT right there. He recently beat me, and I thought, you know what? Here, I'll throw it in. Everyone in this team has been in so many MCCs. Shovel has been in pretty much every MCC. Michael McChill has been in a ton. Great all-rounder team. I think with Fire Breathman's leadership, they're going to do absolutely incredible. I think Fire Breathman gives this team a much needed edge in PvP games, while the rest of the team specializes and focuses more on things like team games. So going to be fun to watch. Let's check out the orange team. The orange Ocelots, we got Puns, Smallish Beans, Captain Sparkles, and Kara Corvus. Now this team I think is slightly stronger than the previous team. I do think Fire Breathman is the strongest individually so far. I think the Puns, Smallish Beans, Captain Sparkles, Kara Corvus combo is a little stronger all round than the previous team, but that doesn't mean anything because it's MCC and who knows what's going to happen. Puns isn't playing much Minecraft at the minute, but he did just come and destroy everybody, so clearly he's still goated at the game. Captain Sparkles has had some ups and some downs, but definitely a strong player. Similar to Kara Corvus, inconsistent in placements, but overall gets the job done. Smallish Beans, my GOAT. Probably the most handsome profile picture. Not the profile picture he used for the team announcement where he used that team picture just to make one joke, which I respect heavily. You already know this team's going to be strong at PvP games. Let's see what the event brings. Next up is yellow. This one's for the fans. Antfrost, Right Guy Rocky, Bad Boy Halo, and Skeppy. Skep Halo is back, baby. With Antfrost and Right Guy Rocky, again, a decent team. I think it's the weakest team so far. I think that stands statistically as well, but also in my opinion, I think this is the weakest team so far. But that doesn't mean they're a weak team. I'm just comparing them to the previous two. Antfrost, obviously a GOAT. Still see him getting top 10, potentially even top 5 on this team. Right Guy Rocky, again, really good player, but doesn't get to play in too many events, which, I think is a hindrance to any player. And Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy, assuming Skeppy wakes up. Was that the joke? Did Skeppy sleep through one once? I can't even remember. It was so long ago. But I think there was something like that. Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy unmatched in terms of, team chemistry. So let's get on with checking out the Lime team. Lime is one of my favorite teams so far. Pizza Hut, Hannah Rose, Awesome Dude, and Goomy. Now, this is actually... Pete and Hannah is a really dangerous duo. And again, Sam performs over average in the event, and Goomy is the same. Goomy really fits in well to pretty much any team, and they're incredibly funny. I actually was very lucky to meet Pete and Goomy whilst I had a little stint in LA while I was gone there. So super exciting to get to meet those guys. But overall, we know Pete is an absolute GOAT, pretty much always getting top 5 no matter what team is on. Combined with Hannah, I've teamed with Pete quite a lot this season, and I think me in this team instead of Hannah would already make it a strong team, and Hannah is definitely stronger than I am. So, absolute powerhouse team. This is going to be really hard to do my predictions, as always. Let's take a look at green. Green is made up of Purple, Tubbo, Amesy, and Gucky. Now, this is an interesting one, because as always, will this team get lost in the sauce? Tubbo, great player when he puts his mind to it, but loves getting caught up in a bit. Can they get around that? I feel like Tubbo, Amesy, Gucky is like a dangerous trio of this could be really, really funny. Purple, again, we're probably still going to see him do super duper well. But this is a tough team to call, I feel like. I also don't know why Tubbo's picture is like blurred. I never understand the team builder. I really don't. I don't understand it at all. Gonna be interesting to watch. I think it'll be a really funny team. Probably one of the funnier POVs, especially if Tubbo is in maximum overdrive joke mode. Still strong, still good, but I don't think this team has like A lot of the teams so far have had kind of power duos, and I don't think this team necessarily has the power duo. Except for AIMSy, of course, who basically is a power duo at all times because AIMSy is the greatest and is not threatening me right now. They're not. Another absolutely frightening duo in Cyan, Sapnap Shadoon, Red Velvet, and Ollie Gamers. Now, when I was talking about power duos, this is about as strong as a power duo comes. Sapnap and Shadoon are unbelievable. Shadoon had a really ropey start to MCC, but then quickly brought it back and is now doing really, really well. I think when paired with the right person, Shadoon is an absolute beast. Shadoon and Sapnap are probably going to split up leadership roles in this. They're both good at that. And an interesting mix. We've seen Red Velvet Cake and Ollie Gamers both do well when mixed in with the right team. And I think that there's no way you can deny that Sapnap and Shadoon is not the right team. Powerful in PvP, maybe a little weaker in some games like Buildmore, if it's around, who knows? But time will tell. A team that I look at and go, this seems really strong. Aqua, Fruitberries 5-Up, Solidarity Gaming, and Erit. Solidarity having a great season so far, and the Fruitberries 5-Up duo, again, so powerful. And what's nice is I think these two kind of complement each other. 5-Up, very strategic, very tactician-esque. Fruitberries, very good at PvP, movement, everything in the game, actually goated. I think these two combined could do really, really well together. Erit, again, slides right into this team as a perfect little all-rounder for the team. With the right guidance, I think we can see Jimmy and Erit have really, really strong performances, and it's definitely a team that I'm rooting for because I love Solidarity Gaming. Next up is the Blue Bats. We have Jojo Solos, Smager, Gemini Tay, and the Orion Sound. Now, again, if we're going off the back of power duos, if we keep comparing the two people at the start of the team, this team doesn't necessarily have the super strong power duo. Jojo Solos, and then I would say Scott is probably the second strongest player on this team. If you were to compare that to the previous power duo of like Fruit and 5-Up, then you would probably think that Fruit and 5-Up is stronger. However, this team's all-round capabilities are amazing. Gem and Ollie are definitely above the average. I always go on about how good Gem is with a bow, but they're also fantastic at team games. I think this team, if this team can have smart game selection, then this is definitely a team that can win. I think if anything, this team is actually pretty good at PvP games. I think that would definitely be one of their strong focuses. I would love to play PvP games if I had Jojo Solos on my team. So I'm assuming that this team will feel the same way. But I know that Jojo is not shy of the other games as well and does not only have a single skill set. So time will tell how good this team does. But it's going to be a tough event to call. It really is. Next up is the purple team, made up of Illumina in the Littlewood, Wally Bear, and Good Times with Scar. Now, this one's interesting because I feel like Wally being in here with Illumina is dangerous because Wally had a really good event and then a not incredible event. And I think that it's hard to place Wally right now, but Wally is the GOAT. So I think that this is going to be an event where Wally's going to really overachieve. And we're going to realize that quite quickly that if he's teamed with the right person, if he's got a strong teammate, that Wally's actually fantastic. So I think we'll go for Illumina Wally Bear here being the sort of dynamic duo. Martin in the Littlewood is just fantastic. First of all, as a person, love you, Martin. But secondly, as a player, especially in MCC, knows how to get the job done. I'm actually dying to team with in the Littlewood again. I want to have it in the Littlewood team because I haven't teamed with him for ages. And Good Times with Scar has now found their place in MCC. There was always that up and down moment. My winning teammate, Good Time with Scar. I think providing he concentrates, focuses up, does a little bit of practice with the team beforehand, we can see a really strong outing from the Purple Pandas. And before we move into the last team, as you've probably seen, I've not been in a team. I am on the bench for this one. I will be there praying for someone's downfall. No, I will be there if someone has to drop out or substitute out. I'll be waiting. And obviously I'm not on the pink team because someone can't keep their mouth shut. That's right. It's the pack. It's the pink pack, which they haven't announced them yet by the time I'm making this video. But Vicstar decided about a week ago to just go, by the way, guys, we're in MCC. Vic, you're not supposed to do that, mate. Not supposed to do that, mate. But this is going to be interesting. I am sad that I'm not in the event where Vic comes back because I very respectfully talked my smack. Because I don't think Vic will hold up in the current MCC standards. I could be wrong. I'm ready to be berated for that. I say a lot of things on here that get me in trouble. Vic could prove me wrong. I just don't think this team... I think this is a team that would do very well in early MCCs. I don't think it holds the same weight now. Vic is obviously still great at the game. You know, Preston and Jerome have experience in MCC. Beijing Canadian, the only newcomer to the event this time. But I just don't think it holds up. I think the power duos that we've seen on these other teams are really strong. I think Pink are definitely going to play for the memes. I think they're streaming it on the PAX YouTube channel too, so it'll be all of them just in one stream. And maybe that takes some of the pressure off. Maybe that means they don't all have to stream, therefore they don't all have to, you know, have that same pressure applied. I just can't see them competing with current MCC standards. And maybe I am wrong. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments of this video. And again, the All Things MCC Fantasy League, you can pick where you would place them and see how they do. So interestingly, I don't think Scott will mind me saying this, I did get a message from Scott and he was watching the last video that I did and he was like, what is the Scott's method on the team builder? And the best thing is, I don't know what it is because it's not mine. So the only person that could answer that really would be Ultra Sheep Lord. But Scott says that he thinks that the numbers are out because Scott's method is pretty flexible and changes here and there. So we don't really want to use Scott's method anymore. I think average seems like the only fair way. And also I replaced Bayesian Canadian with Michael McChill's score down here, as you can see. I think that's a pretty adequate comparison. Because obviously the problem is what we've seen here is that Vic's average is 2949, which would place him 7th place overall, above Jojo Solo's, Pun's, Antfrost. Like, I don't see that happening in this event. But we can't do Season 3 average because obviously no one's been in it. Barring, well, it thinks Michael Manchill's been in it for Bayesian Canadian, but that's not the case. So it's a hard one to work out. I think just running it solely off average would see us have red win, pink 2nd, orange 3rd, aqua 4th, cyan 5th, purple 6th, lime 7th, blue 8th, yellow 9th, green 10th. It's tough to work out which way to look at this. I'm really unsure. Because average is kind of unfair too, because these guys haven't played for so long. I don't know. We could do last event and then we see pink plummet a little bit. Time's gonna tell, but now it's for the time that you all come here for, to watch and berate me. That's right, it is time for my predictions. So I'll be back in a few minutes once I've made them. So without further ado, pink 10, green 9, yellow 8, orange 7, blue 6, cyan 5, lime 4, purple 3, aqua 2, red 1. Those are my predicciones. There's some thought behind them. There's not many thoughts behind these eyes, but there are some thoughts behind them. And I think we've had a couple of pretty heavy PvP related MCCs. I think we're going to start seeing a shift a little bit to more like team-based ones. I feel like we haven't seen Build Mart in ages. I feel like it could come back. I think we're going to see the return of like Parkour Tag getting played. I don't know. I think there's going to be less focus on PvP in this event. I could be completely wrong, but this is my big guess, just in case. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to click the link in the description to do your own predictions in the All Things MCC Fantasy League. I've been Seapeekay, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.